How's it going, everyone? This is by far one of my most requested videos, and I am finally excited to show you all how I made most of my mechanics from the most advanced 1v1 Arena 2.0 and Flea's 24-hour 1v1 map. This will be a two-part series where I will show you step by step how to create an advanced 1v1 arena. This includes what 1v1 settings to use, 1v1 automatic height, fall, out of bounds, and a kill reset, automatic 1v1 gate drop, automatic build reset, setting selector, loadout selector, and a background selector as well. Don't worry if you're a beginner and creative, this guy will help out any skilled level, so let's go.
Immature gaming.
Before we get into the tutorial, please hit that like button. It helps me out a lot and it lets me know if you're enjoying my videos. I really appreciate it. So in this video, part 1, we are going to go over what 1v1 settings to use, how to create the 1v1 automatic height, fall, kill reset, the automatic 1v1 gate drop mechanic, and the automatic build reset. After this video, you will have a fully functional advanced 1v1 arena. Part 2, I will show you how to build some of the more advanced mechanics like a setting selector, loadout selector, and background selector, which are nice features but not necessary for a 1v1. Real quick, I do want to mention my Discord server, Creative Juice. This server is for Fortnite creators to interact, promote, help, test maps, and discuss all things creative. The reason I am mentioning it is because if you're having any issues on your map, you can get help. Link in the description. Let's get started. First, we have to pick our 1v1 island. I like using the Kevin floating island as it will give you a clean look and there's not much to delete to give you an empty canvas. When you load in, start deleting everything on the map. After that, drop to the bottom near the water and grab a floor from the black gallery. Place it one tile below the water. Now grab a wall and place it on top of the floor. This now gives you an anchor and you can build whatever you would like from here. So this part is going to be kind of up to you. Use your imagination, build a cool 1v1 platform, and don't be too hard on yourself, alright? Make it 3x4 or make it any size you want, really. I also want to note that you don't have to place permanent ramps down here. If you do want this part, it's totally up to you. Now let's set up your 1v1 settings. So now what you're going to do, you're going to go into your inventory and you're going to click the game tab under the My Island setting and you're going to turn the voice chat to all. You can leave teams free for all, team size dynamic, your default class is none. Revert keep, your spawn limit, you're going to want infinite. After last round, go to spectator. Total rounds, this is going to be up to you. Make this 100. I'm going to show you guys actually kind of like a bonus mechanic and it's really cool and really slick, so just trust me, make that 100. Team rotation disabled. End game on match point, no. Visuals you don't need to mess with. Time limit, you're going to want to make this none. You want to scroll on down. You're not going to want any of these win conditions. Join in progress, spectate. Spawn pads is where you're going to want to spawn on. Auto start, I would keep that off. On, it doesn't matter. Basically what that means is right when you spawn in the game is it going to start for you. Game countdown, you can turn this off as well so you don't have that 3-second countdown. It's kind of cool. I kind of like doing that. Let's turn that off. I definitely like doing this if you are testing your maps. It saves you 3 seconds every time you press start. The rest of this is good. All right, let's move on over to settings now. If you guys want to copy the exact settings I used for Flea's 24-hour video, you can put it to 5 a.m. light brightness to about 80. The light color was magenta. My fog thickness was like 0, and my fog color I think was black. Black or red where it looks really good. This is something you guys are going to want to mess with. All right, I'll show you right now. See, kind of looks like that, but you guys can kind of play around. I'll show you what red looks like real quick, so you get that like pink, more pink. I don't know, man. It's all up to you. You guys just mess around with this and get your own style. Don't copy other people. Let me move this back to black. All right. Let's move on. Your starting shield, you're gonna want that 100. Infinite ammo on. And now let's move on down here. So this is going to be really important. Building can destroy environment. You're going to want that to no. Environmental damage, you're going to want to off. Structure damage, you're going to want enemy and self-built. This is important. This is so your island doesn't break, because we're going to be setting up explosive devices, which is going to be removing all of your 1v1 build battles automatically. So trust me on this. Down but not out default. So eliminated player items, you're going to want keep. Respawn time, you're going to want to put that to 1 second. Fall damage isn't going to matter because you're going to have auto fall reset. Jump fatigue, most people leave that on. That's up to you. glider redeploy. I turn that off. Most 1v1 players don't like glider redeploy on. And this is another one that's really important. Health grant on elim. So you're gonna want to put that to 200. So it's basically siphon. So if you're in a battle, he hits you a few times, but you end up winning, you're still maybe only have 50 health, whatever. Like this will give you full health again, and you won't have to mess around with trying to get your health or respawning. The rest, this is not necessary, but if you want to maybe not show your resources, you can turn that off so you don't see the building. You know, your mats, wood, you can kind of clean it up a little bit. If you just want 2 slots, you can kind of mess around with that here. Let's move on to user interface. All right, basically, I'm gonna put everything real short or turn it to none. The game score at the end, we'll just make it 3 seconds, but the rest, the round, you know, you can make that 3 seconds, and round score, display time, make that 3 seconds as well. HUD info, now this is up to you. If you guys want to have a HUD on the right side where it kind of shows you, maybe we'll show it. So see on the right how it shows the HUD. So if you want something like that, put this to score, and you're gonna want to come back to game, and on the very bottom you're gonna want elimination score 1. This will set that up properly, so if you guys get kills, it shows that scoreboard correctly. This is totally optional. I don't do this because I don't like things in the way while I'm trying to fight, right? I don't like that box in the right side of my screen. I turn this off, but just wanted to let you guys know how to do that. Your scoreboard win condition, just put this to eliminations and the rest to none, and it's gonna take care of everything for you. And the rest is gonna be up to you. You can kind of customize your sounds, what you win. You can have a use code immature, you know, stuff like that. For custom defeat, we'll just say, did you use code immature? Because if you lost, you probably didn't do that anyway. You guys mess around with that, that's gonna be totally up to you. But now you guys are ready to set up your 1v1. All right, now that we have our settings all taken care of, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the auto fall, auto out of bounds, auto height reset mechanic. Let's get started. I want to mention real quick, if I go a little too fast, don't hesitate to pause the video. I'm trying to make this video as easy but also as fast as I possibly can, because I don't want to keep you guys here for 10 hours. So anyway, all right, what we're going to do is grab a spawn pad, equip it. And if you guys didn't know this about spawn pads, you want to face this little metal thing. You want this to be towards the back of your player, okay? Basically what this little indicator does is it tells you you're going to be spawning this way. So just remember that, to always place these accordingly. I hate when I spawn into maps and I'm looking the opposite way of where I need to go. So just remember that. Let's do the same thing over here. All right, let's delve into the settings. We're gonna make this team 1 primary, visible during game, to off, because we want this to be clean. We don't want to see that pad. And then we're gonna make this for team 2 priority, primary, turn the visibility off. And now we have our spawn pads set up. If you guys want more than 2 players on here, set up a few more spawn pads and make them to team 3 primary, and you can take the visibility off, but don't have any channels when they spawn. And I'll show you why. You can set some other ones over here, and again, make that team 3 priority, visible, none. And basically, as long as you have these set under game to dynamic, it's going to put the first 2 people that spawn in into 1 and 2, and the rest are going to go to team 3, as long as you have spawn pads, enough spawn pads for them. And this mechanic, I'll show you how to set it up so where the spectators don't mess up your 1v1. So we got our spawn pads set up. Now let's set up the mutator zone. So let's go back into your inventory, go under the creative tab, find the mutator zone, and equip. Alright, so if you guys are following directions on the Kevin floating island, you guys can copy these settings on the mutator device. But if you're on a different island, you might have to kind of check it out. The max heights are different on each island depending on which one you use, so I just wanted to make a quick note of that. But anyway, come in here, you're going to want to turn allow weapon fire. Zone width, you can make 50 or 40. This is pretty big. I'm just gonna do 50. You'll probably never go out of bounds like that, but it's nice to have. And then max height, you're gonna want to go to 60. I've already done the math for you guys. I'll show you guys kind of where max height is in this map, but 60 is perfect. And the rest, see this safe team, you're gonna want to put this to 3. Now this makes it so team 3 can't interfere with any of these mechanics and mess up your game. And then when player leaving, you're gonna want to transmit on 1. Okay, this is important, and that is going to be your settings. Now if you look, you can kind of see the mutator zone, and you see max height is all the way up here. If we were to go any higher, we break the game. That's what you don't want. So once a player breaks this plane up here, both players will be teleported back to the bottom. Alright, let's finish this auto fall height out of bounds and kill reset mechanic. That's a mouthful. Go back into creative, go under devices, and find the item granter. Now I know you guys are probably like, why are you grabbing an item granter for this? But trust me, set it down and copy these settings. Enable on game start. Yes, you're gonna want to receiving player team 1, keep all on grant action, current item, all item. I choose all item. I think either one would be fine. Grant condition on always. The rest of this doesn't matter. Turn cycle behavior to wrap, and then grant item on 1, and when item granted, transmit on 2. All right, and I'll explain how this works in a second. Bear with me. Just trust me on this. Go to your consumables, grab some ammo, equip it. Just drop 1 bullet into it. All right, what we're gonna do is grab this, copy it, make this team 2, and there you have it. Now, basically what happens is player 1 or player 2, it's going to give player 1 and player 2 a bullet no matter where they are in the map, and then it's going to transmit them on channel 2, which channel 2 we're going to set up right now to a teleporter. That's our next thing. But real quick, I do want to shout out Twin. He's another good mechanic in Fortnite Creative. He has a YouTube channel. I'll put it down in the description. He's the one who showed me that you can use item granters for more than items and weapons and things. You know, you can use it to teleport someone, which is really cool. It opens a lot of doors and can do a lot of things in creative. All right, next we're gonna go into our devices again. Let's grab a teleporter. All right, let's place this bad boy down. Now, if you guys didn't know, on these teleporters, see this like little white streak that comes out in front? That basically means if you set up the teleporter properly, it means that you will spawn facing this way. So we will set that up. Let's interact with it. Turn off these settings. You don't need these. You're gonna set this up to team. We'll put this to team 2 just to make this easy. So this is team 2 spawn pad. Let's set this to team 2. Teleporter rift, you don't want that visible. Visuals and sounds, if you want that, that's up to you. I turn all this stuff off. Conserve momentum off. Now face player in teleporter direction, you're going to want to set this to yes. And then to teleport to when receiving from, we're going to set this to channel 2. And now let's set this up kind of straight. Put this to grid snap 8. That'll make it a lot easier to manipulate. That's about perfect, I think. You're gonna spawn like this, boom. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy this. You're gonna rotate it because we want player 1 to face them. So rotate it perfectly. We're gonna do the same thing, set it up just like that. And again, we're on player 1 side now, so just interact with it real quick and change this to team 1. All right, now if we were to start the game, see how we didn't have that 1, 2, 3 second countdown timer? That's kind of cool, huh? And then if you jump off, see, bam, you get teleported right back in here. Player 2 the same. If you were to crank to height or go out of bounds, or if someone died, they would all get teleported back right to this area. Now if they spawn in, they were on team 3, none of this will work. This ain't gonna affect it. It's not gonna mess your game up. So that's kind of cool, huh? Just kind of wanted to show you guys a little extra. So all right, let's get into the 1v1 automatic gate drop. All right, for this mechanic, you're gonna go into your inventory, go under creative, under devices again. We're gonna find objective devices. Here you go. Now throw these down. You're gonna delete all of these except this long black network looking box. Let's interact with it. You're gonna make the health invulnerable. You can come all the way down here and hide health bar always. You're gonna want that. Visible during game, you want to keep that on. Play audio visual effects, you can turn that off. And now this one's very important. Collision during games only when visible. Now we're gonna turn on 3, turn off on 4. Okay, set these channels properly right here. All right, now let's grab this. Now we're gonna have to resize this. This might take you guys a little bit, so you guys can pause if you need to. Basically, turn your resize on and make it as small as possible, and then go back to your rotate. If you guys are having trouble with it rotating not properly, just paste it down, then grab it again, and it will work. So I actually wanted to make another note here. Make sure you put this little ugly part on the bottom so you don't see that. And then let's rotate this. Perfect. All right, there we go. And now we are going to go to resize, and your resize axis, you're gonna want to go to height, and then you can just make this bad boy kind of as long as this starting. We made that a little too long. Let's tighten that up. You can make this as big or as small as you want, but that's kind of perfect right there. Now let's grab it and center it. I'm on grid snap 8. You can go to like 16 might be a good one, or 32 to really get it dialed in. So this is too low in my opinion. So let's move it up so it's like at their chest when they. One more down, bam. All right, there you go. That's kind of perfect. Let's make sure it's right in the center. Okay. So we have that set up. This is the bar that's gonna, drop and allowing players to go when the 1v1 starts. Let's now set up basically the trigger that's gonna signal a objective timer to drop this gate. We're gonna set up a trigger that you hit twice, basically, so one player on one side hits it and the other side hits it, it will start. So go into your devices and grab the trigger device. Interact with it, change it to these settings. Times trigger, you're gonna keep this on infinite, but transmit every 2 hits. That's what you want. Sound, if you want it to make a sound, I turn that off usually. And the effects, you can leave that on. I'll leave it on for this. It's kind of interesting. You can mess around with this stuff. Visible in game, you're gonna want to know, and then you're gonna want enable on channel 3 and disable on channel 5, and when trigger, transmit on channel 5. All right, you got this perfectly set up now. Grab this bad boy. Now we're gonna resize it and make it fit over the bar, the 1v1 gate. Now make sure you leave enough room for it to poke out on the left and right side of that gate, because you want it to be able to be triggered if a player hits it. So that's kind of it, how you set that up. We're not done yet. We got to set up a few more things. Let's start setting up the mechanic to actually allow that to drop. So go into your devices, grab a time objective device. Interact with it. I put my time to 4. I put 1v1 starting in ... And you can make this bigger or smaller. I'm gonna make it big for now. This hologram, we're gonna have the visible to off so the hologram doesn't matter. This is important. Urgency mode, turn that to disabled. It makes a really crappy noise. Really bad noise if you don't. Scroll all the way down. You can skip all these settings. You can turn this activation sound on or off. This is going to be up to you. I like to customize my own sounds. I don't like to hear these, so I turn those off. We can completion sound off. Timer sound I do like to keep on and make that the whole map. I do want to mention that we skipped a very crucial step. Completion behavior, you need to set to reset. Okay, make sure this is on reset. And now basically we're gonna have start from channel 5, and when complete it's going to trigger channel 4. Okay, all right, now let's grab a trigger device, place it down, copy these settings. You're gonna put 2-second delay. I turn the sound and visuals off, visible in game to no, and trigger when received from 4 and transmit on 3. Okay, so this is basically going to make sure that this bar comes back. Let's show it in game how it works. So a player steps here, a player steps here, starts your 1v1 starting in, bam. After 2 seconds it comes back, and then you can redo it, you can go again, bam. So there you go. Now if you want kind of a cool sound, kind of spice up your map a little bit more, add a little more immersion, let me show you something. Go into your inventory under devices, find the speaker, so at the very top, and pick, I always use unlock. I think it's kind of cool sound, and you don't want it too loud. You can make it the whole island, visible in game, no, activate on channel 4. So now when you do this, when it drops, you get that lock sound, bam. You get that kind of audio cue, which is kind of nice. There you go. We got that 1v1 gate set up. We got the auto fall height kill reset set up. Now let's set up the automatic 1v1 build reset mechanic. So first thing I want to mention, any triggers you have like this, you're going to want to make sure you get off your map. Okay, you're going to want to put them under the map somewhere where they don't get affected. So just remember that. So to start up this explosive device mechanic, it's actually pretty simple. I'll try to hopefully explain it the best I can, but if you just follow these steps, it's gonna work. Go into creative under devices, and we're actually gonna grab triggers first. So grab a trigger, I'm gonna place this down. Now copy these settings. Times can be triggered 1, and turn these sounds off, visible off, and come down here, trigger from channel 1 and transmit on channel 6. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy these. Basically we're just going to be creating a daisy chain for how many resets you want. It's going to take an available channel, so just remember that. I don't know how much, if you guys are adding this on an existing map, if you have a bunch of crazy stuff going on, you have a lot of channels used, you might not get that many resets. But if you guys are just building this from scratch, just like I'm showing you, you can do 50 resets or more even. You could do 70, 80, 90 resets, which might be the most resets in any 1v1 map I know of. So anyway, so after you copied, interact with this. And just to make this quicker, what we're gonna do is come over here to the channels only, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually set this enabled to 6, and you're gonna come down and when trigger transmit on 7. Okay, and now we are just going to keep copying this. Enable 7, trigger 8. I'm just gonna set up 10, but you guys can keep going. You guys get the idea. And our final one, this will be 10. But you guys get this, keep on going down. Just make it enabled from the previous trigger you set up, and then add a new trigger transmit on the next channel. And there we have 10. Now what you're gonna do is, remember, maybe make sure this works, test it first, but we're gonna wanna put these triggers under the map, because you could set this to trigger by player. You could turn that off if you want, and then I don't think, even though they're invisible, if you have that set, they won't be able to, any other player won't hit it accidentally. Just to avoid confusion, put this under this, and we'll do that after we make sure this all works. So go into your devices, we're gonna grab an explosive device. Copy these settings. Indestructible, blast radius to 5. We don't want it to damage any player. You can put this to 5,000. Put damage indestructible buildings, make sure that's on no. Turn knockback off. These are all off. Make sure you're copying these exactly. Turn the sound effects off. Visible, no. This doesn't matter because we have it on no, but I just turn it off just in case. And the rest, I think we are good. You want audio, you want no. Now we're going to put this to explode on 6, okay? So basically what's happening is we're spawning in, it's enabling this trigger off of a spawn, how we have it set up, and then we're gonna fight, right? And if we fall in the water, or if I die or anything, it's going to send a signal off channel 1. This trigger is signaled from channel 1, right? So then it hits channel 6. Channel 6 is set up to this explosive device to go off, okay? Then what happens is this trigger is enabled by channel 6. So then when we die or it resets again, it's gonna hit channel 1 again, and then it's going to hit channel 7, which we're gonna set up now. And again, use this channel only. You can go to 7. So you guys kind of get the idea. We're gonna keep on going. So for every trigger you set up for reset, you gotta put an extra explosive device. You actually guys want to kind of keep these close. We're gonna move them all up here, so you gotta fit them all in this area. So just keep that in mind. We actually did 11. That's fine. That's okay. All right. Now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab all these, rotate them, and kind of put them up here. It's not too bad. This is a blast radius of 5. It's gonna reach all the way out here. So let's give it a test. So throw up some ramps. Bam. See, we falled out of bounds. And our ramps are reset. Bam. So there you have it. Now I'm going to show you guys one more slick thing, and this is going to give you an endless reset. It's so simple. So now when you guys decide how many resets you set up, you know, I would recommend at least 30 to 40 of these. Remember the last trigger for the last reset. So for us right now, we set up 11. So the last one is 16. So check this out. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into creative, go into devices. Remember I told you to set your round device to 100? I'm gonna show you why. So put the round device down, go to your all options tab, and copy these settings. This doesn't matter, we don't really set a reclass, but just copy it. So end round, this is what we want. End round on channel 16 for me, because this is my last reset, is 16. So whatever that's gonna be, if you set 50 of these, it's gonna be 55. It'll be, if you set 50 of those, I think it'd be a channel 55. But yeah, so set that properly, just like that. And now check this out, guys. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so this would be our last one we have set up, and basically check what happens. It ends the game for us. How cool is that? It ends the game, and then watch, it'll auto start it. Bam! Now we have all those resets back, and we're fighting again. It's literally an endless 1v1. There's really, it's like seamless. The game ends real quick and you start, and now you have all those resets back again. It's that easy. I will say, let's set up one more thing just to notify players that this is the last fight they're going to be able to have before it resets the round. So what we're going to do, go into your inventory and grab a HUD message, all right? Place it down, put last 1v1 reset. All players, put this time to off, display time for 2 seconds. Make this bold, make a sound, message, and top center. And then you're going to show this from, like I said, you guys, this is going to be the channel before your last 1v1 build reset. So for us, it was 15, and that is now set up. So right before your last reset, it's going to warn players. Now let's take it even a step further. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set up actually an alert. Every time it's reset, it tells the players, hey, you just got reset, so no one's caught off guard. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find an empty channel, and if you guys aren't sure what empty channels you have, you can go down into your channel browser. You will see we have a bunch of empty channels, but I know if you guys are on an existing map or you guys used 50 resets, you're gonna wanna check this out. But I know right now I have like channel 100s open. So I'm going to grab a trigger device. I'm going to place this down. I'm going to turn off the sounds. I want it visible. I'm actually going to want to disable this. And I'm going to enable it on 2. And I'm going to disable this on 15. So keep if you guys followed this, you can have keep it disabled and enable on 2. But this disable part, you're going to want to set this up to disable on your second to last 1v1 build reset. So 16 is my last one. We're going to set this to 14. The reasoning is because these HUD messages don't have disabled properties in them, so we kind of have to use another channel to do that for us. So this isn't necessary. This is kind of going off in the weeds. Hopefully I'm not losing you. Trust me, this is kind of a cool thing to add. So disable on 14. We're going to add trigger on 1, and we're going to when received on 100. Okay, and then we're just going to copy this heads up display over here. And we'll put 1v1 reset. Everyone's gonna get it. And we're gonna make this show off of 100. Again, throw this under the 1v1 arena. These other ones don't really matter. You can keep them up here if you want. They won't really show. They will show in your pregame lobby, so you might want to get rid of them, just an FYI. But check this out. So now once we fall off to reset, we get that 1v1 reset. See that shows up there? It tells you just got reset, and it'll tell everyone else in the lobby as well. Pretty cool, huh? And the very last thing, you guys, I didn't even say that I'd mentioned this, but let me show you guys real quick how to get your weapons on here and make them cool and clean. Grab a item spawner, place it down, interact with it, keep these settings, make these instant. Now cycle, you're going to find an empty channel like I showed you earlier. I know 99 is an empty channel. Let's keep those devices. We're not done yet. Let's just grab some weapons real quick just to throw in there. These are just, you know, obviously put whatever weapons you want in here. This is just for show. Then we're going to grab a trigger real quick. And this trigger we're going to put right here and follow these directions. All right, we act trigger by player off, but damage on. Okay, we're going to want that. And then You can keep visual effects on if you want or off. Visible in game off, but right here, receive damage, take damage while invisible is important. Now when this gets hit, you're going to want to put it to that exact same channel as cycling next on that item spawner. So now check this out, guys. You can recreate this. You're just going to have to use a different channel or an empty channel you have. So if you wanted to use, you know, shotguns, would use channel 99, 98 would use SMGs, 97 could use, you know, ARs. So but yeah, just real quick, this is how you get weapons. Do the cycling weapons trick that you see in a lot of maps. See? And you're basically hitting that invisible trigger and it's cycling your weapon and you can pick it up. Bam. That's how they do that. You can make this clean, make it look a lot better, obviously. I'm going to show you guys even one last thing to make even getting weapons easier. So if you don't want to go through the hassle of even setting this up, you can even automate this. So most of us use a blue AR and a purple pump. Copy an item granter, all right? Place it kind of somewhere not around another item granter because we're going to be dropping something in here. Interact with this. Go down to here and clear all items and also reset all. All right, you're going to want to enable on game start, keep yes, receive players all, keep all on grant, all items, cycle behavior wrap, and then on grant item when receiving from to channel 95 or an open channel. Okay, and then you're going to come into here. You're going to grab the 2 weapons you like the most to use in your, or whatever. You can even grab 3 or 4 weapons you like to use the most in your 1v1ing. We'll just use the current meta. All right, after that, run over to your round setting device. Go all the way to the bottom to the round start transmit on. Choose channel 95 or an open channel. All right, and there you go. There's your weapons. You start the game and you start them with the 2 weapons, and now you can start fighting. As you see, it's all set up properly. You got your 1v1 starter gate. Bam. You either kill someone or you go out of bounds or hit max height. Bam, it resets. And there you have it, guys. I hope this tutorial helps you guys out. And again, part 2's coming. Make sure you subscribed and got notifications on. Alright guys, here's the code of this island. I published it for you all just in case you guys want to check it out and play. I mean, you can use this map if you want a 1v1 on it. There's no problem. I don't know if I'll be updating it. This is going to be a low frames, bare bones 1v1. And there's not a lot on this. As you can see, there's a 6,000 memory. That's not bad at all. So again, if you guys want to play it, there's the code on the screen. There you go. You now have a fully functional 1v1 map. If this tutorial helped you out in any way, please leave a like. I also would love it if you would all tweet me some of your pictures of your creations at ImmatureGamerX. Use the hashtag Immature1v1tutorial. I will be retweeting some of the best ones. Also, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on so you do not miss part 2. I'm going to be showing you guys how to build the loadout generator, the 1v1 in-game setting selector mechanic, and the background selector mechanic as well. Alright guys, it's your favorite part of the video, the sellout portion. If you guys would like to support me, please consider using code Immature at checkout. I really appreciate it. If you do not use my code, please make sure you are using someone else's. It really helps out a lot. If you want to get a hold of me or stay up to date on all my maps and when I'm streaming, make sure you are following me on my socials. My Twitter is at ImmatureGamerX, my Instagram's Immature_gamer, and my TikTok is ImmatureGamer. There will be links in the description. That is going to do it for today's video, guys. Thanks for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment. I try and read all comments and at least give them a heart. Go ahead and press that like button. It really goes a long way. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Also, please leave a comment on what types of videos you would like to see more on this channel. All right, make someone's day. I hope you all have a great week. And that is it for this video. I'm Immature Gamer and I'm out. If you made it to the end of the video right, oops, I thought it was going to be silent in the comment section. You guys are awesome. Later. Hey, you're still here? Thank you so much for watching the whole video. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, please press that like button. It goes a long way. I'm serious. And while I'm sitting here begging for likes, press that subscribe button. It would really mean the world to me. All right, I'm really leaving this time. Hope you have a great day.
That's my name.